And away we go. YouTube on a Monday night. I see Paran has joined out there. Very cool. Nobody else was on, so I'm like, all right, let's fire one up. Fire up a nice hangout. Why not? Why not? It could perhaps be just the two of us here this evening. Who knows who else will stop by? I'm not sure. We will see. Good stuff over on Dreads. That was pretty cool. Good stuff over on Ponchos. Yeah, Pete always cracks me up. Always cracks me up. Oh, let's see. Oh, Ted. Oh, Teddy Carroll's out there too. Ted. There we go. Yeah, always good shows there, and listening and different things, and they, everybody's got their own style and different formats, and it's okay. It's cool. Everybody's got their different way of doing things. Mine is more like the old West, where theirs is more like sophisticated. And I actually have not posted a link yet. I probably should, because you all don't want to listen to me. So I shall post a link here. Hold on. I know ODD is actually doing a 24/7 thing or something like that. Because I've seen it, just like replaying videos and getting ready for November, which is cool. Nope, no problem. No harm, no foul. And it's just, there's no interaction though. I think, at least for myself, I like the interaction. I like the interaction between folks and having a conversation. One second here. 1 second while I do a few things. Da, 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 da. And I am actually sending some things out here. Oh, yes, of course. Bear with me, folks. Getting there. Is it getting there? Oh, Kender's out there. THC's out there too. Hey, some shout outs. see here. Oh boy, should I do? Yeah, I should probably do it this way. There we go. Now it's pretty much all over the place. As far as the link is concerned, that is. So what's everybody up to tonight? Let's see what's going on. Come on! Yeah, actually, THC was saying that earlier. Yes, with the chemtrails and different things over there, with the basically circling in a big donut formation or something, if I recall correctly. Crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. The link, if anybody wants to join, is in the dispensary. I've passed it out to a couple of individuals privately as well. Excuse me. So anybody wants to join in, feel free. Feel free. Bring up some content. Actually, it's kind of funny. We were speaking about GMOs earlier. And if anybody's watched the movie, it's called Michael Clayton is the name of the movie. It's with what's his face, George Clooney, and it's actually made some years ago. Well, actually, 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, and it's about the Monsanto and the GMOs, and this guy wants to come clean as basically the fixer man for a company, and goes against the firm that he works for and comes out clean and just lets everybody know about it. Not sure if it's based on a true story. I would like to believe that, because anybody who knows anything, excuse me, about the GMOs and all the chemical garbage that they're feeding everyone, if somebody knows about it, it's your duty. It's actually inherently of value to actually come clean and come out and say something. That's what I believe, anyway. And that's not just coming from a drummer. Oh boy. So yeah, I was over on a different channel earlier. Well, I was on a couple today, actually, and saw some good things. Really nice. Also got over to see Pete with his new high-fangled green screen and different things that he can do, and kind of funny. I think I caught a little flack from that last night. Just some different stuff that went on. Some different things. And I'll just keep it rolling for a little bit here until we're joined by someone, or perhaps no one. I'm not sure. we'll certainly be able to tell in a short period of time. Actually, Kendra, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I caught a little flack from the bunny and the pole thing, and so did Pete. We were talking about that earlier. It was pretty good, though. You would have to admit. As his accent goes, it's like, "Hi, I'm Laurie. Laurie Saab." He pronounces it Simons. It's actually Siemens. That's okay though. And, "Hi, I'm Laurie Simons. I'm in the White House. Hey, how you doing? How you doing?" he did a pretty good impression. I thought it was fun. It was all for fun. It was for fun, and sometimes folks don't know when you're messing around or having a good time, just having some fun, or perhaps trying to make a specific topic as far as proving a point or something. And some people just can't decipher between the two. That was for fun, and Pete, Vinny, I, and several others were just having some fun and just enjoying the evening. I mean, that was all it was. And actually, Jimmy was there as well. Oh, James. Hey, welcome, James.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, wah, wah. Yeah, exactly. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, this is a new icon, James. What is this? What are we looking at here?
It's a bald earther who realizes the Earth is flat, like struck by lightning.
I knew there was going to be something behind it. James, how you doing this evening?
Not too bad.
Good.
A little tired of the rain here. We have like 10 days of rain and 1 day with a little bit of sun.
It's I have to say the same down here. And for June, of course the month and take it as you may, or whoever has it as it may. It was like 2 days ago.
June and May are both married. You should try for April. She's still single.
No, April's actually about to be married, and she's actually with child. So no, we can't go for April.
Boy, she didn't tell me about it. Oh well.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, April was my ex-girlfriend who was on last night on Pete's.
So you have an ex-girlfriend named April. I see.
Yes, exactly. It's all good though. She moved on, wanted to have kids. I already have a basketball team, and I'm like, nah. I already have a goalie, so.
Maybe make one chess player or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Go for a brainy one. I'm sure they're all brainy though. Kids become like super kids with each generation. They're actually a lot smarter than we are, at 10 and 12 years old. They could put us to shame. That's a fact.
Yeah, so yes, some are definitely. Some are definitely, and then you get into and it's not going to be a deep conversation with vaccinations and all that kind of thing. It's a shame with the dumbing down that they, and I always use that term, they try to do in different things. It's like, come on, really?
Well, when you say they, you really have to refer to a few families and their industrial military complex that's been developed for them, and the games that are played for them by the media, the creation of hate and, boogeymen all over the place, and,
Mm-hmm.
the incontinence in our society. It's all created and fabricated.
Yes.
because it's not a natural part of people. I mean, if it was, we'd always be at each other's throats. Well, we seem to be sometimes, but normally we wouldn't be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's like saying, okay, we're going to war, or we're going to go and we're going to declare war on someone or whatever. Nobody wins. Both sides lose.
Well, it's a human cull is all it really is.
Mm-hmm.
All these brass, they're not even targeted. You're not allowed to shoot officers. I'd be like the Patriot. Those are the ones I'd want to get rid of first, because they're causing all the shit. You get rid of this brass, and then the rest of the guys won't want to fight. They're not under orders to. Left to themselves, they wouldn't fight.
Exactly. And after speaking to him for probably 15 minutes, they'll be like, wait, what am I doing? Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think most people go into it for the right reasons, to serve and to do a very, very, noble and good deed. I think it's once they realize that it's not really to help democracy, it's not to help people in any, nation like Iran or whatever, that it really is just to serve some corporate, industries that basically pay out a lot of money to the CIA. I mean, where are you going? Is that what war's about? Is it for family and kids and truly God and country, or is it for a few corporations and greedy people who just want to take over the pipelines, industrial production, and, well, money and control of everyone else?
Yeah, I actually saw a video, and I'm not going to say, I'll chat it to you or something. Space Cowboy actually did a video and just called somebody out, and I had happened to watch that, and after I was done, I was like, wow, okay. You catch somebody in like a catch-22, like, which is an old expression. James knows what I'm talking about, and it's something where you keep catching somebody in, perhaps a lie, or they say something differently, and then you go back and that's what the video was. That's about as much as I'll say. And
I still say it's more about the message than the messenger. I liked Eric Dubé's first stuff, but when he went apeshit on the Jews, apparently it cost him like 50K viewers and stuff, because some people are, that's not the road we should be going down. It's like 9/11, whether anyone died there or not, I have no way of knowing. I'm certainly not going to be backed in a corner and pushed to say, like, no one died, and if I don't say no one died, I'm some type of troll or whatever. I'm not good enough for whatever truth community because someone says so, and
right.
That's part of a witch hunt. And there's some of that going on,
Yeah, there definitely is. And the more channels you watch, the more you see it, and you look at it, that with those kind of glasses, and you're like, oh boy, this is not going to end good.
Well, I like some things, like, at least Jibby, he tries to, like, criticize all views, right? And there's a good reason for that. They have to hold some water. When you get new age shit thrown in, like, oh, moonlight is putrefying and cooling, and a bonfire burns colder at night than in the day, and blah, blah, blah. Look, that's unsubstantiated. You have different humidities in the daytime. You have an inversion of air when the night falls and stuff. There's so many factors. You can't just say, oh, it's the moonlight and it's, oh, fuck off with that nonsense. And Dubé does it. A few of them do it, the so-called big names. Stay away from this new age like bullshit, especially if it is bullshit. It's unsubstantiated. Even Brian Mullen was in the moonlight and trying to take temperatures and shoe boxes and shit. Screw off with that. It's not science. It's just new age goofing around. It's really nothing to do with truly figuring out the flat earth and what's going on. For me, it's a waste of time unless it's done right, and it's not being done right.
Well, Well, yeah, if done, if done properly or proper experiment or something. I mean, and after
Like I
you
say,
do,
my chicken experiment. If moonlight is so cooling and everything and putrefying, let's whip out our chicken. You whip out your chicken in the daytime at high noon, and I'll whip out my chicken at midnight under a full moon when it's at its apex, and we'll see whose chicken is funkier at the end of an hour or two. We had the chicken talk before,
Mhm.
but I'd rather have my chicken in the moonlight than have to put some suntan oil on it or something out in the sunlight. Chicken, you take out, a chicken breast and you bake it in the sunlight. A little aluminum and you can fry the thing good enough to eat. Make a reflector and you can bake your chicken outside in the fucking sun. I mean, it'll last for, well, at least overnight without, putrefying. It's when the bugs and the bacteria and the sun and whatever else hit it, it's going to fucking putrefy a lot more than stupid moonlight. I mean, really. But it's stuff like that, babble about an ether that it's just more gobbledygook that takes away from, reality. It's like I say,
Yeah,
I tell people, like, gravity, what? Air is a gas. Same kind of gas as CO2, as whatever. If I fill an aquarium with carbon dioxide and hold a quarter over it and drop it, it's going to go through that gas. Don't matter what the gas is. It's not because of gravity. It's because if I give the quarter energy and I release it, through a gas, it's going to fall down until it hits something solid and stops.
it has to do with density, not gravity.
Yep. The Earth is a body at rest. All the rocks and stones and pebbles and everything are normally at rest unless a force acts upon them. And that includes microphones, anything that, has weight or mass. I mean, if you pick it up, you gave it potential energy. You let it go, you're releasing that energy. Me, I learned in foot-pounds, and different measures of force. Gravity ain't involved. It never has been. If you do real math, and it's like even acceleration downward, it's 32 feet per second squared till terminal velocity. There's no word gravity in that formula. Oh, they want to throw one in and make it all magical and bullshit, but there is no gravity in that formula. There's no gravity in the density formula or the mass per unit volume. There's zero gravity in that formula. But these idiots and these clowns want to throw one in where it doesn't belong there.
Yeah, exactly. That's go ahead.
Our so-called 8 inches per mile squared on 1/4 of a sphere. Who would measure a quarter of a whole ball? You don't use math like that. We measure, balls and distance around a circle, circumference and stuff with 2 pi r. We don't say the basketball is 3 millimeters per 10 centimeters squared of curve. And only measure a quarter basketball because the numbers all get funky. Because it's not the right formula.
I tend to stop right at the 8 inches per mile for myself as a builder. And I just take that into perspective as far as water level, and then go from that point.
If you had a building that was, say, 200 yards long, to set that level by eye or even with the float levels and spirit levels and stuff, you never do it. So you use a hose that's open at both ends. You run that 200 yards. That water level at both open ends is going to be exactly the same. No curve. You could run that a mile and there won't be no 8 inches of curve.
That is correct. And I use the analogy of building a swimming pool that is 1 mile across, and you're telling me that I have to build it so that you are 8 inches lower than where I'm standing on the other end of the pool. And that's
ridiculous.
Exactly. And obviously kind of joking around and
Yeah,
making some
you want
fun.
a 100-mile long swimming pool, the Suez Canal. It's one level from sea to sea, 100 miles. There should be a mile of arc, 5,200 plus feet in 100 miles. You know, I used to drive from pretty much the center of South Carolina, which is part of what they call the Low Country, to the coast every day. That's 60 miles. That still should be a half a mile a curve or so, or arc, and it just ain't there. That place is so flat, it's till you get to the foothills. In fact, it's noted by the USGS, and you know, it's statistically fact that there's about 1 inch of decline per mile to the coast from the foothills. And that's well over
I'll,
80 miles. So there's only 80 inches difference from the base of the foothills in the Carolinas to the Atlantic.
that's more of topography than it is for sea level, of course. And I've driven many a time from here in New Jersey down south and through North South Carolina all the way down to Florida, back and forth, back and forth. My grandparents used to live down there, and unfortunately they're gone now. And I can recall, I mean, it's just like you're driving on this highway that just never ends. It just goes straight and straight and straight and straight and straight. And I didn't feel any decline like a roller coaster, nothing like that. I felt nothing.
No, the easiest way to build a road is flat and level, and that's what most of it is.
Yes.
It's so dead level that, you know, it's almost hypnotic. Some
Yeah.
places so flat and straight with, you know, nothing to break your you know, like the monotony of the you get road hypnosis. Roads are so flat in most places. You know, out in the prairies, it's so flat that you go for miles, and at intersections, what they do is they cut these grooves against the tread of the tire, kind of, so that it vibrates the hell out of your car for about 100 yards before the stop sign to wake you up or to get you out of potential road hypnosis.
Yeah, we actually have those. And of course, there's topography with this. It's the S curves over in eastern Pennsylvania where they have them. It's like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it wakes you up.
Oh, yeah.
And even some places where the roads are dead long, all along the sides they have them too, in case you like drift off to the side of the road. You're going to feel la
Yes.
la 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 all the way. It won't let you. It's for safety. It's because you know when
it's actually not a bad idea. I can't disagree with that being a bad idea. I think that's actually a very good idea.
And when you're on long, dead straight, when you're deadheading on a flat, long road, watch your speed, because you start to feel like you're not really going very fast, but you'll be going 70 and you feel like you're not even moving because there's nothing to compare your speed with. You lose the sense of you're going 8 or 80. It's all the same.
Yes. Yeah.
So you wind up speeding on roads without, you know, consciously knowing it, because you don't really feel like you're moving that fast.
Very much so. Yes.
The cops feel like you're moving that fast, but you don't.
Oh, don't get me started with authoritative.
Authoritative dysfunction. It's like Chris Rock. I don't know if you remember when he was popped in Georgia for speeding. He was doing over 80, and I guess it was a state trooper, had his sirens cut on and everything, trying to pull him over, but Chris Rock claimed he didn't hear the sirens. Well, it's true. When you do the tests, you can't hear no sirens at 80 miles an hour, the car in front of you. They can't hear your sirens. So obviously, for some reason, sound may not travel at 750 miles. Well, I don't know what speed sound travels at, but it's certainly not 90 miles an hour in some cases.
Yes. Oh crap! I just had a brain fart there. Speed of light, 186,000 miles per second.
Yeah, it's just
Speed
an estimate. A longer wave, you're going to have a
Yeah.
slower forward advancement. And that's all there is to it.
Exactly.
Long waves take
And-
longer to travel the same distance as a short wave if they're both going the same speed. Relative,
Yeah.
but
And-
I mean,
And Chris Rock, the comedian, I'm guessing you're chatting about. Chris Rock, the comedian, is actually quite funny.
well, he works good with Jackie Chan, actually. They did a few good movies together.
Yeah.
Mr. Nice Guy, I think it was Jackie Chan and.
Also the Rush Hour series.
Rush Hour, that's
Rush
the
Hour.
one. Rush Hours, yeah.
Rush Hour, and it's very very enjoyable. Just it's kind of funny. There's only certain people, James, that can feed off of each other and just create something.
Well, Jackie
Really
Chan,
funny.
even though he's like an action hero, he's always kept it light. I've never really seen a Jackie Chan film where it gets so like heavy you're almost like ready to commit suicide when you leave the theater or nothing,
Yeah. Oh,
Light.
we have been hold on, James. We've been corrected. That's Chris Tucker.
Chris
from Candor.
Tucker. We apologies to both Chris Rock and Chris Tucker.
Yeah, I seen both of them obviously, and yeah, that's Chris Tucker. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. I got that wrong too.
Okay, we'll put Chris Farley and we'll replace both those guys with Chris Farley from now on.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame he's gone or gone somewhere. We never know.
Yeah. Did you ever see the film he did? I forget what it was called. It was like a Wild West, not Wild West. They were trying to cross America, early pioneer style there. It had, I think, not Eugene Levy. Yeah, Eugene Levy was in it and a few others. Forget what it was called, but they were on a race to, discover America in a passage or whatever, be the first to go from east to west. Forget the character historical that they were playing, but it was actually a very funny film.
You know what? As you say that, I kind of recall, and I just can't remember the name of the actual film. And
yeah, it's not easy to remember, like Hollywood Ninja or something like that.
Well, that one's easy, yes.
That was good.
I've actually got that one on DVD, and when he goes from his outer body experience back into his body, and
yeah, he kind of crashes and explosive re-entry.
Yeah, blows through the French doors. He's like, oh!
You can't keep track of his sandals at hotels and stuff,
Yeah, they keep picking him up because he picks them up. Yeah, exactly. So it's actually some good stuff. It's some really good stuff.
Yeah, I liked his partner from the dojo. The one time he's like painted golden and stuff, and in front of a restaurant there. You don't notice until he actually moves and does his ninja stuff. Remember that scene there? In front of the restaurant. Another guy from his dojo, he's there to protect him and stuff, but in secret, and he's painted golden and stuff and playing a statue for a few moments in that scene, then he,
Was it the ninja movie, or was that
Hollywood Ninja?
Hollywood Ninja. Okay.
Yeah, I forget the character who played sort of a sidekick in that one. You had the master, and then almost like the guy he grew up with was sent to try to protect him while he was out on his quest. I think he was in Mortal Kombat 2, the one.
Oh, could have been. I do not recall the actor's name. I do know, as you said that, I was like, okay, gotcha, because he just like was in the background trying to protect his,
Yeah, all through the
kind of
film.
adoptive.
Yeah,
All through the.
Yeah, they were
and
brothers,
stuff like
I
that.
think. Yeah, they were brothers or something there.
Exactly.
Welcome to my dojo.
Oh, that was the worst part because
Yeah, just the fact he was the biggest ninja ever, weighing in at over 300 pounds, it's not exactly like a 5'2", 83-pound ninja or something that you'd expect. Their shurikens weigh more than they do. You know what a shuriken is, right?
No.
It's a throwing star. It's the proper name for them.
Oh, okay.
They're called
Throwing
shurikens.
stars.
Yeah. They work.
Oh, they actually do work. They actually do work, especially if you know how to throw them properly.
Yeah, maybe they could, improve on the those twirly things that you have now for spinners, little spinettes there.
Oh my God! Don't
Maybe you
even.
could like weaponize those things.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
sure people
No,
have already,
You're better off getting a pet rock.
Well, you throw that at some fool's head. You don't like rocks here. My rock has. He's out of the box now. I can't control him.
Yeah, the thing is with the pet rocks. I remember when that craze hit, and people were buying them like buying pet rocks and pet rocks and pet
they
rocks.
were they were covering them on the news. They'd show people out in the park, playing fetch with their pet rocks and stuff. What morons! Well, you can market anything in this world and sell it. You really can. I really believe that. Hell, they sold global warming.
Back then, I thought it was a globe, and at this point, I would say it's flat. I would say it's flat, absolutely flat. So, anybody that wants to grab a rock and paint a face on it and sell it, go for it. All power to you.
Did they have faces painted on it?
Oh yeah, they
I didn't know that. Oh yeah, made a little extra effort and didn't just send you an unprinted rock.
They just.
I'd be original. I'd send a rock and 3 little vials of paint and a brush, and you paint the damn thing. Personalize it. Personalize your rocks.
Hey, that might be the new. You know what? That might be a good idea, actually.
Yeah, the new pet rock. Art Deco rock and punk rock. Moving right along. Art Deco.
Yeah, send a little mohawk or something, or a little hair with it, or something, so they can put the hair on the rock or something.
Yeah, a piece of slate with a piercing. Punk rock. Yeah.
That's too funny. Hey, Anthony joined us too. THC.
Hello,
how
Anthony.
You doing, man?
Hi, James. Hey, Larry.
Hi.
Yeah. What a beautiful day, mate.
My fellow chemist.
Yes, mate. Yeah. What? I know. Just hang on one sec, darling. Hang on one sec. Yeah. Look, guys. Just about those chemtrails. It's really interesting because I'm looking at the sunset, and I've never seen the sunset spread around to my far left, heading south. Amazing. I've never seen a sunset spread so far across the horizon.
Well, I sort of think in part there's air masses that affect how we view the sun.
Well, this has never happened, man. I've never seen the sunset so far. I mean, it's so far going south. It's just so strange, dude.
Yeah, I saw the sun setting in the west here a few days ago, and it was split in two. The top third was above the bottom third, but I figure it was like I was looking at it through 2 air masses or 2 high pressure zones. at the distance, and that caused the cleaving effect. The sun was still one piece, but what I saw visually was the sun broken into two pieces of 1/3 and 2/3. It's very weird.
Yeah,
But-
It's weird. That's weird.
and Anthony's down in Australia, so that is very strange.
I'm not in Australia. I'm in Vancouver, Washington, next to Portland.
Oh, holy crap, you're up here.
So turn everything right side up again now, Larry.
Yeah, right side up. No. I'm Washington, mate. When I'm doing the solar tracking, I'm doing the solar tracking from Washougal, Washington. Yeah.
Larry, you have accent bias. You
Yeah,
heard an
I
accent
know.
and assumed it was like New Zealand, Australia.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Larry, bad.
Bad Larry. Bad Larry.
Oh yeah, I'm always messing that thing up. I thought Vinny was from Hoboken for a while. That's a New Jersey joke. You have to understand that. It's like, hey,
Oh, I
you from
thought
Hoboken?
you were going to say that Kelly girl that held up the Donald Trump severed head was going to be at your next party. That's a New Jersey joke.
Oh, I saw something on social media about that.
What's her
It's
name?
just like-
Kelly something?
Kathy Griffin, I believe, right?
Kathy Griffin, yeah. Oh, she's crying up a storm now about, she's sorry, but she's being like persecuted and bullied now and stuff. But apparently,
But
Fox
what's the
dropped
best
her a
way to-
bunch of stuff.
What's the best way to get publicity? I mean, come on, her career sucks. I don't like her jokes.
Yeah,
I think
and, she's friends with Trump anyway. These are all friends, all these
Yeah.
people. They couldn't do this stuff if it wasn't a scripted thing. It's just more
Ex-
distraction and more scripted bullshit.
exactly, precisely, and that's again, that's my opinion on it. It's just something
Hey,
where
I mean, she's covered. She's got a lawyer. Who's paying for that lawyer? She ain't paying for that lawyer. This is all... In French, they say arrangé avec le gars des vues. It's set up with the man in the cinema, like the man behind the curtain and stuff.
I like that. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
And it really is, This stuff is all becoming as predictable as clockwork almost, And like I say, how can you go and do like the Manchester fakery there and just take some poor woman's daughter's photo that had been murdered a few years earlier and paste her up there as one of the victims of this so-called attack? These people know no limits, no shame, and are unbridled in their, I don't know what you'd call it, their...
Greed.
There's nothing they won't do, apparently.
Greed.
Just nothing they won't do. There's nothing that's holy for them. Nothing is sacred for them.
Yeah. In their greed for one of a couple things, either fame or money. Yeah. Either greed or money. That's it. That's it. Well, I see Cat's Eyes join. Hey, Cat's Eyes.
Meow.
Yeah, it's amazing sometimes. And and look, I kind of have a bad reputation.
Only
Yeah.
because you're so proud of all the skank that you can seem to find.
Yes, I know, James. I know,
Any
James.
mangy mutt in New Jersey will find its way to your back door.
Yeah, yes, I understand. Friendly, joker friendly, and
The CDC has a whole containment unit before they come in and go out. Get the works,
yeah, what was that? What was the new movie? I watch a lot of movies, so I think the new one was Containment or something, where they actually, put the plastic over the building and kept everybody in there, and all zombies were in there and all that kind of crap. And so getting back to what I was talking about, just the reputation I have with obviously with YouTube and everything else, I really do know what's going on. I just like to have a lot of fun.
And so you should. Viva a beer now and then. And
of course. Of course, yeah. Well, actually, Pancho was drinking beer earlier, and he got to like the fourth one, and then that was it. He was done.
Well, it makes some people just fall asleep and stuff. A few beers, especially if you don't drink a lot. 3 or 4 beer put a lot of people to sleep.
No, he wasn't putting them to sleep. He was just getting wild, and I think Vinny shut it down.
Oh, Big Brother. It's 1984.
I say nay.
Well, sometimes I wish I had someone would have protected me from myself. Oh boy, it would have been nice. But we've all been down that road too. Some of us more often than others, I guess.
Oh yeah, of course.
Wah, 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 wah.
Hey, did you guys see that message from FPV? He was stating that he showed a snap screenshot of NASA fucking with his server, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, best to read the write-up that he did. But what he was saying that to help procure this from not happening again, he's using a thing called Peer Blocker. That's I think it's PEERBOLOCK, I think, Peer Block or something like that. But anyway, so it was really interesting to see the screenshot, and he's captivated their signature to who they are. So it shows you in detail what they were doing and what they were up to.
Well, a few years back, even really maybe 6 years back now, it might not be quite that much, but I was doing some stuff on moon landing videos. Like one film I did was the actual Apollo 16 rover, I guess, moving at 0 miles per hour. The whole effect was created by a photographer, a cameraman, standing in the middle of that little thing and doing sort of an up and down and side to side dance while pivoting. Okay. So I did some camera tracking and demonstrated that for that whole scene, the rover moved 0 feet, 0 inches, 0 yards. It moved at 0 miles per hour. But it was a well-done effect. I appreciate it artistically, but as far as pretending that they were on the moon and that was part of a actual moon buggy ride, fuck off. Wow. But hey, when I was doing that, I had some very special trolls. One was a lady named Joan, another was Astro Brand 2, and another one was Cognitive Dissonance, which I think we all know. But one of them, and I'm pretty sure it was CD, came back because there was a glitch in Google Earth, or the Google Earth, I think it was, when you put someone's YouTube name, it showed you their IP address and information. And I believe it was CD who came back from JPL.com, Pasadena, California. It doesn't mean he was there physically, whoever it was, but when they log on through the servers at JPL, so they can keep a log of work and activity done by an employee, you know? So
I don't doubt that.
it's been
I
going
don't
on a
doubt that.
long time, and the same people are involved in look how many are from Colorado. You know, even when South Park did their thing on all these trolls and everything, and their Norwegian trolling, you know, half-hour episodes and whatever, the trolls were from Colorado. You know, without drawing a picture, it probably means that there are companies that have been set up there to do exactly this. And other things, like I say, when you're marketing, hey, you play both ends off the middle and you make money off both ends. You can't lose that way. It's the same way you run a civil war. You don't take sides, you sponsor both.
Yeah,
No matter
that's
who wins, you win.
yeah, very, very disheartening. Very, very disheartening. I understand what you're saying, though.
Yeah, I just, like I say, I just like to hear the message getting out. That's the fact, and that's the truth. The earth is flat. We're not on a ball. The messengers, I don't care. They'll all have their little quirks and their little axe to grind. Like I say, I mean, I like the stuff that, what's his name did there? Eric Dubé. But, you know, when he goes into hour-long rants about, you know, how bad Jews are, and he doesn't seem to know what the difference between a Jew and a Zionist is and stuff, well, you know, I can do without. I'm not subscribed to him either, and I didn't subscribe to him in the first place, but I think his little, you know, forte in that particular so-called branch of flat earth and, you know, the truth and the no, I mean, A, it's uncalled for, has really nothing to do with flat earth and flatness of the earth and water and stuff. And it costs them apparently some 50,000 subscribers. You know?
You had said that, and I just, boy, I'm not sure where to go with that one.
Me, I find, like, I understand he's in a place that's under a dictatorship. That's a lot of freedom someone can have under a dictatorship. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. You know? But anyway, usually dictatorships, they take away a little bit of freedom of people, don't they? You know? Maybe this is a very liberal dictatorship he's under.
That's a
liberal dictatorship.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think he's still in the Philippines, isn't he?
Well, that ain't exactly the, you know, place of social democracy and your shining light of freedom there. There, the cops are allowed to murder anyone even suspected of dealing drugs, and they do about 5,000 a year now. So, you know, if you have a political enemy that you don't like, you know, just, you know, say he deals drugs or even accused, they'll come out and kill you. There are no trials for drug dealers in the Philippines. That means there are no trials if you're a political dissident, because they just brand you a drug dealer and murder you off.
Actually, James, what is their national debt in the Philippines?
I don't know. You'd have to check the shoe closet of Imelda Marcos or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, pairs of gold shoes she has.
Oh, dude, come on. Come on.
Well, you have to assess it by some measure of, you know.
The
gold standard, her closet, you know.
My point is, it's just like neat. It's just like so little. It's
not big. Yeah.
That was my point, actually.
Yeah, if you're president there, don't leave the country and come back, because you won't make it off the tarmac. Moving right along.
I knew where you were going with that. I definitely knew where that was going.
Well, you gotta have a sense of humor about these things. It ain't nice.
Well, yeah, humor is the best thing. It's you know, you have to have a good laugh once in a while, because when you
Yeah,
realize
like
what's going
Mao
on.
Zedong's wife, she had a good laugh, but she scared down the firing squad, you know. Bang.
Well, mate, you got to laugh, don't you, James? Because, look at, most people have lived a whole life and have just found out that they've been lied to. So I think you do have to have a belly laugh. It's like,
But we can't
this,
even know if really this dictator was truly assassinated or this president or none of that stuff. We really don't know.
yep. Yeah.
With all that's scripted and made to terrorize and destabilize.
Have you noticed they're getting really lazy? Like
Yeah.
in the way
Yes.
it's just, I don't know if they're being lazy or they're doing this on purpose. It's just bizarre. It's bizarre.
Well, I watched that so-called SpaceX Dragon and stuff go up and land again, that hogwash,
Yep. Yep.
And I don't know. You can see every inch of that film is, falsified, constructed, just not real. I really don't think they have many fans, actually. I think what they do is friends and family of people who work for these outfits, they're almost compelled to watch. So if they even have 100 viewers, 99 of them are freaking family and friends of people crooked enough to be directly involved in the scam.
And isn't that interesting you say that, James? Have a look at I'm fairly recent. Well, I'm not recent, but recent to chatting. But so 4 months ago, when I went on to checking you guys out, there was really nobody from NASA that was showing up in the Flat Earth subtitle. So, but it was funny. I was checking it out today, and when you put in Flat Earth Live or Live Flat Earth, have a look what happens.
NASA tries to take over? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in the last week or so, mate, they've created these other new sites called NASA Footage, I think they're called.
Well, there are secrets, and they are technically legal ways to get massive amounts of viewers. I haven't really told anybody some of these SEO tricks, but they do work. The most popular thing on the web is pornography, still hands down. But you can't do that on these channels. And Larry, keep calm.
Okay. All right.
Porn gets it up, but not off. But what some places do, they'll actually introduce some words like even if you only discuss for a few minutes breast cancer, well, the word breast will get you millions of hits. If you write camel toe and show real pictures of camel hooves and camel toes, it's legal, but that camel toe will get people to look at a channel. It don't matter what the channel is, they'll look because that's what they're looking for,
Yeah.
But anyway, they're cheats. They're legal cheats, but they're cheats and they work.
Yeah, it's almost like saying squirrel.
Pretty much.
Squirrel.
Yeah. It's like writing FCK. Everyone knows that the intent is to have a U in there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
That's why there's a British company, FCK. Well, who's kidding who?
Well, I suppose it's all it's like predictive programming. Hey, we've been programmed in a way to think, and we just fill in the gap, really.
Well, at the Walmart stores, they have signs now at the checkouts. The one for 15 items or less? Well, they actually they write it's 15 items or less, but they also have 3 hands holding up, 4 fingers and a thumb on each to represent the total number of items you can buy or come through with that line.
Oh, come on. Really?
I'm not joking. Yeah. So it is dummied down, terribly. Well, look, street signs. Understandably, there are a lot of different people driving around that speak different languages. So they did go to a large extent to pictograms of some kind to try to depict, safety issues and whatever. But there's a limitation to that. But some of the pictograms are pretty dumbed down, and the fact that they can't put writing in English anymore on road signs for us, I'm pretty disappointed. And honestly, a lot of the signs, I read my codes and my handbooks and stuff, but there are some places where you have so many signs and so many things painted on the fucking roads, you can't figure heads or tail. It takes a split second to figure out the situation, and that's a road hazard. Just too much information. It's information overload. You got street lights now. You got one that says turn left. The other one says go forward under caution. And you have a place where people can turn right on the red and stuff. Some stuff is just fucking nuts. Just getting more nuts. Like one time they changed the the signs in Quebec were all in French because the government passed a law that there was to be no more signs in English, including, road signs. Well, one of the signs was to a tunnel that, the sign sort of says in English and in French before, no explosives, ammunition, and stuff like that in the tunnel because it runs underneath the St. Lawrence River. Well, when they changed it to all French, an unfortunate American trucker hauling a bunch of ammunition and some explosives, his brakes or something caught on fire in the tunnel and he couldn't move. The truck was on fire full of explosives in the tunnel. And, they wanted to charge him with neglect and all this stuff, but you can't expect like 200 million Americans to learn French to come and make sure, they can read one sign on a tunnel going under Montreal from Longueuil.
No.
That's not responsible.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like,
They tried to charge him actually with negligence and stuff and whatever, but he was found not guilty because yes. Oh, really? Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. He didn't do anything wrong, really. He didn't knowingly or willfully do anything wrong, or willfully try to cause damage. Why would you find someone guilty? It wasn't his fault the sign was in French either, or that he couldn't speak French. Where do you find fault with that? I can't find fault with that. Neither could the court or the jury. That's pretty fair.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there was no intent. Anything can happen. If you have an accident and it's truly an accident because of some kind of circumstance, why would I hold it against you? Why would anyone hold it against you? If there was intent, well, then it's normal to hold it against you. But if there was no intent and something bad or tragic happened, but, there's no ill intent, then people shouldn't hate you for it. Because things happen all the time, it's just about what the intent was. If there was no intent, well, it's a tragedy. If there was intent, well, fuck you. Don't forgive. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Nicely said, James. Nicely said.
I only bought 1 gram of weed today. I'm out now. I need like 1,500 plants. Moving right along. I got one plant.
1,500 plants. That's nice. I like that. James, yeah, you can talk all you want about 1,500 plants.
Oh, yeah. I got one growing. It's about 5 feet now, 4.5 feet tall, and about as wide. Because I push them out.
Yeah, what a beautiful subject. I just came from a place in California. I was down there for 5 days and looking at a new growing technique. Well, it's new growing to us, but they've been doing it for nearly close to 2 decades. And anyway,
they've got some really good anti-personnel devices on some of their pot plants in California, I hear.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's pretty crazy down there. I'm telling you, this was the Green Triangle, but I heard so much about this growing method, so I built up a relationship over 3 years to be trusted to actually get taken to see it. And so yeah, it took 3.5 years, and I got to see it. So I was really excited, man. It's it's the way we all should grow. These people grow so close to nature, you wouldn't believe it, man.
Well, do you get
I've never seen a plant grow so quick in my life. I took photos, and I'm going back. To have a look at the finished product, but just incredible. Oh my God, the growth.
And that's without hydroponics. That's dirt growing.
No. They make their teas. Actually, the soil's tested by, they call the soil wizard. He lives in Florida. He tests the soil and the strain of the cannabis plant, and then he lets you know how to make your tea. And then you grow and make your tea, and then that's what your plant lives on, the tea.
That's right on. That's pretty quick nutrient and just what it wants and needs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very, very smart how they're approaching it.
But they have the sunshine too. They got like nice long days of great sunshine, which we don't have here.
Yeah,
you know.
And they're all in greenhouses. All these plants are in greenhouses, and they're all light depth, meaning that they're getting like 2 to 3 grows a year. Incredible technology, man. Just really cool. Yeah, it just goes to show you that the cannabis plant is quite amazing. How you can actually get up to 3 harvests a year. It's an interesting plant, man.
Yeah, you can, depends on, like I got one, I'm growing it extra long because, I mean, I only have one plant, so I'm not going to get it to bud till, it's good size.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Some take longer than others, some of the sativas take a long time, but yeah.
Yeah, this is actually a Kush, and it doesn't have any like flowering going on or nothing. It's all just green leaves, but it smells of the Kush sometimes.
Yep. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, the technology in cannabis is it's coming along, man. It's going to be an incredible ride, man. It's there's a lot of people approaching it from not looking at it as just a recreational product, which is really exciting.
Well, it could save some trees too, because again, the fiber can be used for everything from tissue paper to clothes to jute bags. Well, jute bags, hemp bags, and fiber, just filler for car seats, for anything. You can. Hemp has 1,000,001 uses.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, and it's not just one sort of hemp. You've got a lot of different sorts of hemp that produce different sorts of fiber.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting, my friend. I'm telling you, it's the big pharma is quite. I think they're a little worried. I think they didn't expect this to really take off.
Well, you're going to have, like you said to worry a bit about what the Asians are going to be importing and sending to us, but also corporations like one of the big ones is Microsoft. They're in the weed business now. Hollywood, through their stars and stuff, are doing the weed business, and the music industry. They're financing all kinds of shit in green, Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's it's still a dirty product, and it is being cleaned up as we talk, so it's like anything. It's a gold rush, and people are just trying to bend the rules a bit, but a clean green product is what's going to win out,
Yeah, but I want to see price win out too, and keep prices like going down and not up, actually,
Well, you just got to have the government not charging so much tax, because it's not the grower. See, that they've really put a burden on the growers and even the retailers, because they can't claim any usable products, like for creating an income. So they can't claim anything in the cannabis world. Nothing.
Well, here, banks won't even take money from the dispensaries here. They can't open accounts for money from their weed businesses.
Yeah, same here. We've only got a few banks we can deal with here, mate.
Fuck, I'd open a bank just for the weed businesses.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
like Bitcoin for weed businesses, like, you know, instead of like Bitcoin, it's like weed coin or something.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of things happening down in California. I just, met all the growers down there that are moving over into their system, and they said, yeah, they're going to have it's like an armored car that's going to be going around to all the people shifting and moving around the money. That's how big California is going to be.
Oh boy, yeah, that's where it's going to get interesting.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because you got to understand when these growers are, because when you do a tax plot in California, you're paying for that tax plot. That means I could grow an acre. I can grow, or up to 10,000 plants, and you're just paying for the use of that lot. So you just imagine selling your plot. Where are they going to put the money? Where are you going to put $800,000 that you've just got for your grow? And that's going to be in cash. So
you open a restaurant and you sell tacos and burritos.
But see, don't forget there's going to be a tax lot too, meaning that the California government is already going to charge you. You have to pay your taxes before your grow is grown. So if your taxes for that lot was $150,000 for that tax.
Holy shit! You need a smaller lot.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need a 1 by 1 foot lot that's like 1,000 feet high and just grow vertically.
I would think so. Yeah, that's quite a bit. Yes.
Yeah. So that's and yeah, that's the thing about it. California are making you pay up at the beginning. Your tax lot, whatever the size it may be. It's going to be interesting, man. But yeah, getting to that, James, as well, about the acetate, the CBD acetate is all bullshit. I'm not saying CBD is bullshit, just the way some people manufacture it over in the Asian countries. Yeah, pretty interesting.
Well, I imagine you could like boil it with some alcohol or whatever and some acid and get it back to a alcohol from an acetate. I wonder too, because I remember in the USA, if you wanted to grow hemp, there was a law that you had to have like, I think it was 12 or 15 foot tall fences around where you grew your hemp, and that was a federal law.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but definitely now in Washington state, you can grow hemp here, and you can grow as much as you want. So you can seed it off, or use the protein in the seeds, or you can juice it, or however you want to do it.
If you know your chemistry a little bit, you can extract cannabidiol and actually, not with one of these funky pyramid machines, but actually chemically isomerize it to mix THCs.
Yeah,
you reduce it to THCs.
Yeah, you can, absolutely. Yeah, you can convert it easy. It's just like you said.
I think it's
acid.
Well, yeah, or boiling it with boron trifluoride ether it.
Correct. Yep. And then I think, don't you remove that with chloroform, and then you do a salt wash or whatever?
Yeah, you got your stuff.
So yeah, but I love cannabis. How you can change it. Like I was saying to the guys before, that MMS, the way they do their procedures, it's amazing, James, because I do the same, pretty close to the same procedure, to turn THC Delta 9 into a Delta 8. It's really interesting.
Yeah, again, there are 3 numbering systems, and the Delta 1-8 and stuff is from the terpene. That's the most popular one. It's the best one, if you ask me. The cannabidiol or cannabinoid system was garbage, and the dibenzopyrene numbering system is just too clinical in American Chemical Society. Terpenes are half of what THCs are about, so I do like the terpene numbering system. But that being said, from what I understood about the different psychoactive components, you had the delta 1, the delta 1,6, the delta 6, and the delta 9 were your most potent components. And each of them individually has very little effect on people. In fact, a less intense and much shorter lived high. Delta 1 THC is supposed to be the predominantly active ingredient in THCs, but when it's purified and absolutely crystal clear, transparent Delta 1 THC and you smoke it, you do get high, but it doesn't last and it ain't very intense. You really get your different highs and benefits from the different combinations of Delta 1, 1,6, and Delta 9s. I never saw Delta 8 as an active psychoactive component of the THC, but I'm sure they all are.
No, you're absolutely correct, James. But the reason turning a Delta 9 to a Delta 8 is for just so you can have the elderly and the younger generation to take high doses when they're
without getting high. I see.
Yeah, without getting high, because you can actually ingest it without that psychoactive seeing the fairies. So it's better for the younger generation, especially the younger kids that 12 years old, around there, when they got these tumors in the brain. They can consume a lot of oil. I mean, up to 1 gram of oil. So they're really flooding the system,
So I can see why you'd put it to the Delta 8.
Yeah.
Because like I say, that's one of the isomers that doesn't have a psychoactive effect.
Yeah. And then mixing that with the CBDA and then the THCA, and then when you combine them both in different ratios, because we grow to whatever the outcome is going to be. Like if it's going to be a 3-to-1 with a terp profile of, say, alpha-pinene, because because with this wonderful plant, those terpenes, they're actually the mechanism that actually draws that THC to its place. It's quite interesting how the terps in a cannabis plant are just like off the scale. I mean, what you can get from a cannabis plant is amazing.
Yeah, they actually start a precursor to the terpenes is the pentene, and the terpenes are dipentene or dipentanes. So the dipentenes do form terpenes, but they form a lot of other oils, like lemongrass oil is a dipentane, but not yet a terpene. But if you react it, it'll form, paramenta 1,8-diene, a terpene, just like that. The synthesis in the plant, it gets to a terpene by building dipentanes.
Okay. Keep going. Yes. It's something that I don't know all that much about, mate. And
yeah, it'll start usually at the thing will condense the aldehyde of the dipentane, which is basically lemongrass oil, and the smell is way off from, say, the pine family and terpenes. But lemongrass oil, you react it, it turns into terpene. So there is, and the aldehyde is a more reactive group. It basically condenses, forms a ring, which is the terpene, and condenses with the dihydric benzene compound, which is the olivitol, the amyl resorcinol, if you will.
Okay.
So it builds it out of, C10 and C11, basically.
Which is an alcohol base, isn't it, James?
The aldol, the aldehyde?
Yeah.
Well, aldehyde is actually an isoalcohol,
Yeah.
vice versa. So
Okay.
they're, it's like 50 of one, half a dozen of the other. In many instances, the alcohol reactions in chemistry are similar and done the same way as aldol condensations, because the one is an iso or just an isomer of the other. It's like
Well,
they're very closely related.
but isn't it amazing just the broad aspect of a cannabis plant? Because I really didn't realize that just the profile of the different species from around the world just after this weekend really lit my world, because I'm into the terps more than anything. And
Have you ever seen rubarella?
oh yes, absolutely.
It's a short little plant, grows about a foot
Oh,
tall,
yeah, absolutely, most definite.
and it has a short chain. Instead of a amyl derivative, it has
Yeah.
a propyl derivative.
Yes, most definite purple, but very leathery, dark greenish with the purple veins coming out on it. It's a very robust leaf, like a
It has to
spinach
grow
leaf.
fast and in a short time. It really
Yeah.
has a Russian winter to deal with, and apparently they come pretty quick.
Yeah.
Actually, guys, not too well. I can interrupt. Are you watching chat? Because there's a couple of questions out there.
Oh boy.
For you guys.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Because James is smart here, so listen to what he's got to say.
Yeah, I know that. I've known and been around James for quite some time. So if I have a go-to question, I will definitely ask James. What do you think about this?
Yeah, the lighter pine is usually loblolly pine. Some yellow pines out there, but the loblolly is mostly like terpenoids and stuff. It's sometimes called gasoline wood because you can split a piece off.
Right.
Even if it's wet, you shake it off and light it, and it burns like, it can't get wet. There's so much resin in it and so much pine oil that it sheds water. So.
Yeah, immediately you have your fire, your campfire, or whatever, or something.
Yeah.
What you're
it's called fat lighter pine or loblolly pine. It's pretty precious stuff.
And actually, before that, it was Elevate Your Mind. Actually, had anything about San Pedro cacti.
Yeah, it contains some mescaline, which is trimethylphenylethylamine, for anyone who wants to know.
That's why I love you guys. I love the community because I would not have known that.
Well, I tell everybody, plant rhubarb.
Yeah, ask a friend. I understand it. Ask a friend, and somebody in the community itself, they will know that answer, whatever answer needs to be given. That's why I love it. Brilliant.
I had OCD.
I sound like I'm from the UK.
Normally, you lose a lot and you lose out on a lot because you have OCD, but I channeled it into studying stuff. When you're OCD and you're counting the number of times you open and close the door, you better find something else to do because you'll go crazy if you do that. So I just studied.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it always felt good.
Exactly. Well, what I'll do, James, when my lab opens up, you know what? When you've got time and if you're ever passing through Washington, just pop on in. Just give me 24 hours notice that you're moving around, and you may pop through and swing by, and I'll chitwag, because there's a few things I want to ask you, James, and it's probably better to do in person, but I'm working on with organic fruits, and I'm mixing organic fruits from all over the world, and I'm mixing them actually with certain strains of cannabis, and when I put it through a certain temperature of a very cold freezer or cryogenic freezer,
I blend 200 proof alcohol, and I try and combine the components of the fruit, especially the profile of the fruit in terpenes, and then blending or homogenizing them with the cannabis or cannabis oil. And it's quite interesting how the oil turns out. And I have some questions for you about why certain things are happening.
Well, it depends. Sounds like you're trying to do it with citrus fruits of different kinds.
Mangoes. Strawberries, mangoes, and pineapple, and it's just quite interesting.
The better part of the citrus, well, most of it's citric acid and other stuff in the fruit itself, but the essential oils will be in the skin and in the cells and the pockets of the skin. And as far as like orange goes, orange peel, when you squeeze the oil out, that oil contains 70% of paramenta 1,8-diene, which is your typical limonene or your basic terpene structure. So you may, within the plant and within its growth cycle, it has to produce some of it as an intermediate, to producing its THCs and other stuff. And like with the plant, like with other chemistry, not everything works 100% for the plant. There's a little overproduction of some stuff that will, remain as a residue that adds a flavor or a particular smell to the plant. Sometimes you can get the same strain and the off the same batch, and the two plants will smell a little bit different.
Yes, correct. Yes.
It doesn't take much to really shift them, and they adapt to what they have.
Well, and another great thing is about adapting is that they actually adapt to the person that's growing it. If you look at one farmer to another growing both the same species, and it's really when you get them tested in the lab, it's really interesting that one of the species of the plants was actually changing or swinging its three-letter components, and because the actual guy had cancer, believe it or not.
And it modified itself for him, eh?
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. And this is, and
I have no doubt about that. Yeah.
Oh, no, serious, man. I'm telling you, this is the absolute truth.
It's like, people used to laugh, but farmers installed music for their cows for milking and stuff, and just so they're happier cows and they get more milk.
Yeah, true that, yep.
You can play music for your plants and they'll respond to it. I think they actually enjoy it, I don't think we're alone in sentient feeling and stuff. Someone said the world was alive, and someone said no, it's not. Yes, it is. I mean, the earth is a living organism. One way or another, it has its reality.
No, you're absolutely correct, mate. It's a living organism. It is, absolutely. It is. And just about how not getting airy-fairy out there, but how it's been kept away from all of us about, how simple it is just even grow a little garden, and that garden will modify itself to yourself, to what you need.
Well, they've created an ego of knowledge, pretentious knowledge in man through science and stuff. So we run around basically standing on the shoulders of mostly liars and cons.
Yeah. Very, James, very, thank you.
And that's why we can't even see the dirt underneath our feet. It's because we're standing on the shoulders of fools.
Yeah, how true, mate. So true, James. So true. Hey, but the good thing about what is taking place about how these explosions of chats popping up everywhere, like I was just on a chat yesterday, these Russian fellows, and quite interesting, man. It's mate, I couldn't quite understand what was going on. Some things were being translated, but mate, they're in the same boat as ours, and it's just amazing that, hey, they're just a different language and just a 3,000 or 4,000 miles away, mate. And they're on the search. No more bullshit.
Well, even today when I was doing the cruise through Flat Earth Live and stuff, there were a bunch of hangouts open, and there's probably 1,000 people total in all of the Flat Earth hangouts that were up, 400 at Odd TV, and 100 here and 200 there at Dreads, and it's 1,000 people, pretty regular,
Right.
flat earthers on these channels. That's already, pretty big. Look. So that's just in one common day. Look, I mean, Jaren's up to, I don't know, 70K subs. That means 70,000 people are interested enough to, hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Others have a few thousand. What's his name? Dread went up. He started at 5K when he started into, I guess, this flat earth stuff, and literally in a month, I think he went to 10K. So there's a genuine interest, and there's a growing interest. It's unstoppable. Like they say, I mean, you don't have to work hard to defend the truth, but they do have to fight very hard to, keep their lie going.
And put you down. Yes. So
That's the only real weapon they have. And if you're old enough and mature enough, their immaturity and these petty abuses, they don't really, after, you've endured them for about a year, they don't bother you no more. You know where they're coming from. And it's always the same people doing it. And these are that professional.
I am happy to announce that I have 13 subs, actually. So that's pretty.
Yeah, I have no videos up and probably 20 subs now and stuff, but they're, they're not there for my videos, I don't think. There are none.
But you know what, James? It's about just getting the truth out of there. And I think where it's coming to, that we're having common people that are just fed up, mate. Just like yourself, myself, I'm fed up. And you know what? Not just sitting down anymore. I'm actually just going to try and make a little difference, mate. I'm going to, put my lab on that live stream thing, and just so people can actually see how simple it is on how to, make cannabis into a product. It's you don't have to be, and this is what it is. NASA makes you think that you have to be so educated, and people just give up, wanting to know more about something that's gonna, probably brighten their horizon. I'm gonna make it so simple that cannabis, not just cannabis, but other products in nature, you can do this at home. You can do this at home. So easy, James. And I hope people like yourself, when we have a chat on the channel, I'd like you to, just please share with other people about what you can offer to them and helping themselves, being healthy or approaching, some alternative method of being healthy.
Well, the only thing I can really say is that, well, of course, people have a lot of concerns about cancer. So a lot of people do get it. What do you do if you do? Understand what feeds cancer. Sugars, especially glucose. Cancers have 4 receptors for glucose. If you reduce your glucose and other raw sugars down, you'll start to starve the cancer. I mean, there's like the MMS stuff is good. Here we don't do MMS as MMS. We have another chemical. We use dichloroacetic acid, but the chemistry is the same. When it reacts with a mild acid and stuff and you consume it, you get MMS anyway. It's the same thing, but we get to have it in chocolate bars, or the DCA is a powder, and you can add it to food and stuff. So here, we do the MMS treatments, but instead of like the chemicals that are popular throughout Flat Earth or whatever, and here we use dichloroacetic acid. It's dirt cheap, you know. It's like $20 a pound or something, and it's pretty incredible what it does to people's cancers and stuff, you know. So
does it have the same effect, James, as the oxidization as the chemical that they're saying? You know, I don't even know the composition of the MS. I haven't used it. I haven't seen it. I don't even know really too much about the chemicals and what happens when you do mix both of them together. So,
well, you might want to, because again, the DCA has been going around long before this MMS, as far as I know, and MMS is another form of liberating, you know, this chlorine in your system to do what it does. It's the same basic thing. It's the same, even though the chemicals that initiate the liberation of this stuff in you are different, it's the same stuff that's liberated, basically. But there's more documentation and accurate documentation on the dichloroacetic acid assays and stuff that's going on, because that's big. That's where the MMS comes from, is the dichloroacetic acid, the DCA cancer treatments here. So if you want, at least, because it equates to the same thing. Your MMS information, the DCA information, they're very much related. They're like Siamese twins joined at the hip. The information you read on one, you can attribute to how things would function with the other.
okay.
But it's probably more detailed, less ambiguous for doses, and what's been done clinically is there for you to look at. Where this MMS stuff, where people are eyeballing it and stuff, that's, you know, it's a way to start and a way to go, but it might not be the most efficient one. Probably get the job done, but, you know, like I say, I'd look at the DCA.
So with the dosing as well, James, on what you're speaking about, not the MMS. So with the dosing would be the same.
You know, it'd probably be, often when you're dealing with powders and other solids, it's easier to get accurate measurements than with liquids, where you're dealing with meniscus and other things, you know. That's probably why they use DCA, because they could start with measured doses. Well, you can do it with, you know, graduated cylinders and fluids and milliliters and stuff, but again, you know, you start with, say, a gram of this, you make a liter of that, and you can, you know,
So what's its ratio, James? With
I don't know the DCA. I just know that is our big thing for, you know, taking tumors that weigh 10 pounds and dissolving them to nothing almost, you know.
All right, hold on, guys. If I may interject, yeah, we're going off the actual periodic table of elements in the chat, because I'm reading chat also, and I actually have the table. I've actually shown it on screen. I actually have the actual table from when I was in high school.
I know the whole thing, and I can do it exactly. It starts with hydrogen and it ends with the last one. Next question. That's the whole table. He asked for the whole table.
Flutter, Alaska has a beef with me or something.
With moi?
I'm not, no, with me,
Oh.
with me, not you. Or something. I'm trying to figure this out at the moment.
Were you rubbing noses with an Inuit girl? That's
No, I swear.
You know, up north, Alaska, Inuits, jealousy. I'm moving right along.
No, I
What's
know.
her name? Nook Nook? Nook Nook of the North?
I'm not sure. I really don't have a beef with anybody that I know of.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, exactly. Uh,
But yeah, the chemistry is fun, definitely.
oh yeah.
And if you know you want to smell something really beautiful, pick yourself up a bottle of lemongrass oil. One day you may use it for something else, who knows? But technically, that's half of the THC molecule. And so is the oil of orange peel. They're that closely related.
Like I said, if we need a chemist or something like that, I will certainly summon Mr. James,
Yep,
Mr. Jimbo.
Because I'm
Get
good
on
in
here.
perfumes too, you know, and you know I can get rid of the smell of skank quite easy. Moving right along. You need me, Larry. You need me.
Oh, it's actually good. It's actually all good. It's all good.
Oh yeah.
It's all good. I mean, the amount of the things that you know, or it far surpasses mine. And
You know, it's always amazed me they call this one stuff eau de toilette, like toilet water. Now, who would splash toilet water on themselves?
Hell
You've heard
no.
of eau de toilette, right?
Yeah.
Toilet water. Who named that?
I don't know. Some chick that had something going on. I don't know.
A pee drinker.
Oh boy.
I'm kidding, of course.
Actually, Flat Earth Alaska. If there's something unresolved, I mean, the link is out there. You know, if you want to jump in or something. Not sure. Not sure what it exactly is.
Maybe they're having earthquakes. Alaska has a lot of earthquakes.
I mean, you know, we can all agree, James, and I think you will you get this one too, and so will TJ. We can all agree to disagree on certain things. Oh, private. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
private.
like Alaska backwards is Axala. Argue with that.
It's all good though. It's all good because we're all on the same frickin' page. I mean, as far as I can see, you know, we may have differences, which I'm sure. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. I am quite sure, you know, you have a fighting force. Okay, the North against the South, they have their differences, of course. What's the point? No point. There's no point whatsoever because both sides lose. We all lost, and that's why we're in this conundrum at this point.
Well, it's about fighting back. I think intuitively, even as a kid, I've rebelled against fucking your everything. And you don't really know why. And now I know why.
Good point. That's a good, yeah, James, that's a good point. Same here.
It's been forever, and I never knew why before. Now I know why. I didn't know why I knew it was a lie back then. I didn't know why it was so wrong. Didn't know why I wouldn't conform, but now I do. I was right not to. It led me to here. Like they ask you, oh, if you could change anything, would you? Hell no.
No.
Nothing. Because I wouldn't be here right now if I did.
You're right, James. Me too, man. Hey, high five to that one, mate. I don't want to change a fucking thing. I am glad to get me to where I got.
We've earned it to get here.
Yeah, you bet, buddy. That's awesome, man.
It's like I say, and I told Poncho and others too, we're in the driver's seat now. Those lying ball suckers and the ones who promote it, they're not. Yeah. That's why they're so freaked out and doing all the shit they're trying to do. There's no stopping this, though. You can't stop the truth. It's like a freight train. You know,
It-
try
it's
stopping a
it's
freight
kind
train,
of wild.
putting a dime on the track.
Yeah, well, a quarter actually we used to do a quarter on the track,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
actually
yeah, you're right.
it's kind of funny or quite funny, depending, quite funny how it is had. And I say evolve. I don't mean like evolve like we evolved from Bigfoot, because obviously, that didn't happen. I just evolved into this and looking into it. And it's like a freight train. It is absolutely awesome. I love it.
Well, what are they going to do? Take back all the P900s and all the films and shots made by them now? And keep calling, like the view from Niagara-on-the-Lake to Toronto, calling it some type of mirage when the buildings are so well refined and defined that, they're not blurry, they're not a mirage. How long will people looking at it and know that they're seeing a real cityscape and not a mirage, accept the lie that it's a mirage told bold-faced to them? Not forever.
Yeah. And for those, and excuse me 1 second, James. For those in chat, guys, just play nice. Just play nice. The mods out there will totally destroy you. Just have a nice conversation or a nice chat.
Or I'll suck back a balloon full of helium and talk in a high voice.
Well, no, because you actually have to go down to NASA and rent the helium.
Yeah, they're blowing it all on their toys, creating a shortage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know.
Helium is basically fused hydrogen. It's fused with no oxygen. 2 hydrogen go together to form a helium. Ta-da!
Yep, that's why you get higher. Not literally higher like getting stoned, but yeah, you'll get higher. It will take you to another advantage point if you use it right.
Yeah, I keep spouting off on water and how it's a bad word to call water just water. It limits what it really is and its force, same as oxygen in the air. They are an explosive force. A 10% mix of gas with air and just regular air is an explosive mix. Water has 7% free hydrogen. It's 7% ready to explode at all times.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I'm looking at water and our environment and stuff, and even right to the sun, our good old sun, as being part of the hydrologic system. And I'm looking at even, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. If the sun is moving over a stationary Earth, and it might be causing the jet streams behind it, I think everything is packed a little closer and a little tighter than people are thinking now. Like I say, one of the things I see people do in the quote flat earth community and in the globe community is, if you ever watch a cat chase a light on the wall there, a little pen light or laser light, all of this Nibiru stuff and pointing at the moon and pointing at this is cats chasing lights on the wall. Everyone got their theories. Everyone got this, and this is proof of that. No, it's something that might show a possibility that that's what's there. But it's not proof of anything. It's like me with the Chinese magic mirror. It's not proof that the moon is a reflection. It's just a possibility. It looks like that's what it could be. That's not proof of anything. And I don't make the mistake of saying it is so, because that would be a mistake, and it's not proof of anything. just one of the ideas that's out there of a possibility, but it ain't proof of nothing. So all these people, when they look up and they see this reflection or this or that, and they say this is proof that, well, it's light reflecting off a dome. It's not, you know, could indicate something to that effect, whatever, but it's not proof per se. Proof finalizes something. And people,
Well,
like I say, it's lights on the wall are lights on the wall. Cats go crazy and chase it. I mean, these are lights in the sky. I mean, no one can point their finger at it and say this and that and say that's proof, because it goes with this and that and that and this and this and that. It's all proof based on guesses.
When you go back up there, stay for 5 minutes.
For myself, James, and you know, I've known James for a while. We've actually hung out quite some time, and THC for a little bit shorter period of time. And for myself, it's got to do with, you know, the mathematics of actually the drop and building something, because I'm a builder, and building something a mile long and having it be 8 inches lower on the other end than what I'm building, and that work. And then you go down to
no. If you had a wall to do a mile long, some of the pieces would have to be tapered or beveled a bit.
Yes,
Wedge
yes.
shaped to account for that curve. It does. You don't manufacture stuff that way ever.
Exactly. And I know Vinny's you know, probably crashed out right now, not here or something. Ponch, Vinny will come in and he'll tell you right away. He'll be like, no, that's not how it's done.
Well, it's like the so-called ball earth formula for the curvature. You don't measure the quarter of a ball.
No.
You don't measure a quarter of a golf ball. Say, well, you say it's what, something's 2 inches in diameter, not 1/4 of the measurement times 3/4, or add 3/4 to that to get your. No, you don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'd be like the official diameter of a basketball. You give 1/4 that measure and let people, you know, do the mental gymnastics to figure out the actual size of the ball. 6 inches plus 3 more 6 inches, 24 inches in diameter. You know, whatever. Don't make sense. But anyway, it's all done. It's all engineered to fuck people's brains. And it's done a good job. But, you know, eventually some people do, like, get that brick that falls out of the wall and the rest of the wall collapses. For me, it was finally seeing through NASA's bullshit. You know, I do photography and graphics for years and years, and I was blinded, you know, just, you know, I couldn't see anything wrong with fucking NASA shit. Now I can't see anything right with it. Jeez. And there is nothing right about it. Nothing they do has any even air of more than, you know, CGI or movie making Hollywood style. It's all like Danger Bay or something, an old Canadian TV show where everyone's smiling all the time and waving, and there's a little thrilling action during the show, but at the end everyone's smiling, and it's all NASA is. This is a rerun of Danger Bay. And if you've never seen Danger Bay, you watch one episode, you'll know exactly what I'm saying. Even the early moon stuff, real early stuff, the newsreels and stuff and the documentaries they made were almost written by the people who wrote spaghetti westerns. They had a feel of, you know, the Western cowboy to them, even the filming style. Anyway, all of that is truly like newsreel, military newsreel stuff, because that's who runs NASA. Like I say, the end of the war, people were pretty sick of war. So to have someone say, well, we want to develop new stuff for weapons and missile deliveries and stuff and take billions of dollars to do it. You know, for the most part, the public was sick of war and they would have said no to that. So you mask that need or your desire to develop more of these rockets and weaponry and stuff, and you call it a space agency. You call it a public space agency at that. And it's really just an arm of the military developing, well, more stuff to kill us and brainwash us and, well, whatever. Thank you,
Suckers
NASA.
dry now. Suckers dry. Hey, they're
Basic.
going to Mars, mate. They're going to Mars. I mean, how much money are they going to take for that one?
They've asked for 1 trillion. So with overruns, try 1.5 trillion, 2 trillion. They want
Okay, now
$1 trillion to go to Mars.
Okay, now how many people are in NASA? And then look at where they're going. So they're going to do all their filming in Canada, and yeah, they're going to save a lot of money. And yeah, I think they're going to retire on this one.
Well, look what they've already got. They've got a few generations of people who are these NASA sellouts and stuff, and some of them are really in the know on how much of a fraud it is. And so do their children. So guess who are going to be like the next so-called astronauts to pioneer to Mars? It'll be the kids of second and third generation NASA employees who are very well schooled on the lie and are just going to be actors and know damn well, and they're going to don these spacesuits and get filmed and big red hue factor thrown in, and they'll pretend they're on Mars with some of their friends, and we'll be able to go down to some private pub somewhere and kick back a few beer and a few lines and go back to work on their Mars set the next day. NASA will still get their $1 trillion. We'll get video and a few actors.
Yeah, well, you know, they forgot about people are waking up. So, James, it's going to be an interesting journey because, you know, as you can see that people from all over the world are waking up. You know, they're waking up that NASA's full of shit.
Well, my favorite thing so far was seeing Neil deGrasse have his pissy fit with the microphone and dropping it after his little like, oh, Bob is so dangerous because, you know, he has influence. Well, you know, I don't know. When guys talk like that, like Bill Nye, I just find them such hypocrites. You know, it's like some of this stuff actually makes me physically sick now. Seeing NASA, the fake rockets, the fake SpaceX, the re-landings and stuff, it disturbs me so much. I have to turn it off after even a few minutes because I know how desperate a lie it is and how awful it is. And I just feel just beside myself that people, well, like me, they still look at it and they believe it's real. But hopefully every one of them will have a brick fall out of that wall, and that you know, protective layer of truth that people have built around them may come down, and slowly their protective layers of truth will be replaced by actual truth. But it, you know, it's a shock for people. It's not easy to forgive and forget, you know, because it's like they say, red pill, blue pill, there's no turning back. Once you know it's flat,
Yeah.
everything's up in the air after that, you know.
Yeah. Once you put those glasses on, that's it. That's it.
Now I'll tell you, I look at people like I see sometimes these pastors and reverends and others and stuff, and I don't look at them with the same eye. I almost look at them like, you know, in my heart, I know you bastard, you know, because a lot of these people know. You can't get into these fraternities and these boy-loving clubs and stuff without some type of insider, you know, shit. And the flat earth would be a big little inside joke for a lot of them.
Actually, actually, as James just chatted there, hey, you know, yeah, that's a term that I definitely understand. Exactly. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, I've said for a long time I don't debate. There's nothing to debate. If I wasn't, if there was any doubt in my mind, sure, I'd be willing to debate something, anything, but there's no debate. It's flat. There's no point to debate. I'm going to do a thing with FEM Charles here, Flat Earth Math. But guess what?
Don't mention don't mention.
Listen, I can't stand him. That's why I've got to do what I've got to do. We're not going to be talking any flat Earth or any space or any ISS or anything like that. Just math, down to earth brass tags. And again, real math will box him in. You see, you can't add Harry Potter to the real stuff. So we're just going to have a talk. That's all. No politics, no space, no.
Oh, James, I love it. His house will crumble, mate, because it's all based on imagination, mate.
Look, I watched part of his debate, and when Antonio brought on the gunnery major there, the weapons expert there, who knows how to find a shell that's almost 100 miles away, 60 miles away.
That was Brian.
Coriolis.
That was Brian, different Brian. There's many Brians. That was Brian. Actually. Yeah.
Well, Charles did a face palm because he had to regroup his thoughts to come through that. You could see him physically do a heads down to regroup his thoughts, because now he had something that was legitimate that, well, he'd have to find a way to rationalize around and in part use, Harry Potter math and Babel to get the job done. He had to switch up his game midstream.
Actually, James, I will offer up, my site here if you guys want to have an open debate and kind of
do like a debate. It's just we're going to talk pure mathematics there, just from addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and work our way up. But no flat Earth, just geometry, just. Because I have special questions and I want to see how he answers them.
You're going to destroy him. I know this already before it even starts.
I want it simple. I believe in practical and simple. If it's not, then it don't work. Like I say, my formula for acceleration downward and free fall is 32 feet per second squared. There's no gravity involved in that. Like I say, I can give you 100 equations that there's really no gravity involved, but they somehow find a way to throw stupid gravity in there. What? To convolute bullshit and make it a lot more complicated than it should be. But no, we're not going to be covering any gravity, any ISS, any space, any rockets, nothing like that. Just math. I have to know whether he considers 0 a number or not, or an integer. I don't consider, and I was always trained that nothing is nothing. You can't have no bananas, 0 bananas or 0 apples. It's a placeholder for integers. It's like a tank. You can put stuff in it. You put the numbers 1 to 9 in it. If you don't have a 1 to 9 and just a space to fill, you put the 0 again. It's a placeholder. When you use logarithms, you're using zeros as placeholders. They're not numbers. They've never been numbers. But we won't get into that. I can accept that he may want to count 0 as an integer. That's fine. We can work from there.
Going for like the algorithm or the binary code or something. I understand that. And that's
even as a number, you can have 1 apple, right?
Yes.
You can have 9 apples. Okay?
Yep.
You can't have 0 apples. If you have 0, you have 0 of what? 0 of nothing, right? There's nothing really to affix 0 to. Nothing is nothing. So it doesn't represent a unit of anything. just a space that it's holding for a unit. See, when you get to 9, you put a 0 to hold the ones place, and you put a 1 in front of the 0 to make your 10, right? It's a placeholder. 100 is 2 zeros.
Yeah, but by the way, James, I'm not going to bite because I have a feeling where you're going with this. So no, I'm not going to bite. I understand what you're saying, and I look forward to it. Very forward to it.
Yeah, I'll try to find a time that's good for Charles when he can, life gets in the way of a lot of things. We all have a real life, so it's not always easy. You can't do it, just at the drop of a hat. If he needs a few days or, Friday night or whatever's good for him, I'm good for that. I'm on my own agenda anyway, so.
Actually, that would actually be really cool. Please link it to me or something so I can watch the watch page or something.
Just math. No politics, no NASA, no nothing. Just math.
Yeah, because that one right there that's very important. And I really believe that Charles is actually a flat earther. He just, because of his career, and he's, probably tenured or something, he can't come out and say it. I mean, he really can't. I mean,
only if he has still an interest in the system that he's financially dependent on it or something. If he was on his retirement benefits, other stuff, it wouldn't matter if he came out as a flat earther.
He's actually still teaching, I believe. And just had a newborn, so he's going to have to stay for a little while yet until he does retire. So we don't want to do that or anything. Just having some fun.
It should be fun. Again, I just want to know his perception of math, because math is a language. We both know math. We should both be able to speak more or less the same language all the way up without any non-math interference, like emotional subjects like planets and hanging lead balls and sheds and other stuff like that as being, paradigms of science.
Exactly.
Stay away from all of that.
Yeah, it's the math. It's the math. It's the math. It's the math that actually looking into it and remembering.
Math works good. It served me well, but when really I look at some of these, like, the Earth curve calculator, I've never looked at that in my fucking life, I've never had to stop and think, well, I'm going for a drive. Let me calculate the curve of the Earth over the distance I'm going to have to drive so that, well, I'm safer. It's not one of those things that you consciously ever in your life fucking think about. Really.
Yeah. And we got a few things out on chat there. Flat Earth Alaska, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly.
But it'll get there. Everyone collectively is having their effect on the system. Like I say, the so-called Flat Earth movement has made NASA respond and react. It's made freaking Mike Tyson jump out of his fucking underwear and have a hissy fit. It twisted him one of the Tysons there.
Not the fighter. That's a fighter, Mike Tyson.
Yeah, close enough, They both won, Mike Tyson could do Neil deGrasse Tyson's job.
If you don't like that, I'll bite your fucking ear off.
Holy crap, you just sounded like Jimmy.
Yeah.
And that's our lesson in astrology today. Hey, you shut up or I'll bite your ear off.
Oh, yeah. He did to Holyfield. many years ago. For those that recall that.
Yeah, he wanted a bowl of Ereos.
Yeah, Ereos.
Ereos.
Funny, James. James, come on, come on.
We eat Cheerios. Mike's a real man. He eats Ereos.
Exactly. Does anybody have Flat Earth Alaska on their thing to give them a link? All of a sudden, it went silent. James, you still here? If
I
you
was
are,
on mute.
oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Don't know what happened there. Do you have Flat Earth Alaska, or can pass him a link? I've chatted with him a few times. Not seeing eye to eye each time. Pretty decent fella though. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. It takes me a second here. Holy crap, I got a whole bunch of chicks on here. Just me. All right, hold on. There we go. I think I sent that correctly. I'm not sure. Oh, there you go. Invitation sent. Okay, there we go. There we go. And now we're off and rolling.
Hey, Larry, did James give a date when he's doing that with Charles?
No, actually, Tony, I don't think he did. When he comes back, he's off right now for a second. He'll be back and then coming back, and I'm sure he. Actually, Flat Earth Alaska, I sent you the a link so you can join. Yeah, THC. I'm not sure when it's going to be. I know that obviously James is going to do it, and just be on a you know, a completely what the hell is that? Is that I'm getting a video call. No, you can't do it that way. Okay, hold on a second here. How do I get Flat Earth Alaska into the actual chat? That's a good question. Okay, working on it. Well, if I answer your call, I'll be out of mine. So I have to get you into my particular one. Let's see here. Oh, wait. Oh, I got it. Hold on. Hold the armed forces. Hold it. It's coming. Okay, hold on a second, will you? My goodness.
Avon calling.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see if that will work. I think that will. There we go. Okay. I think I have fixed the problemo. There we go. Okay, all right. Check out the, just hit the, I gave you the Hangout link. So. Tom, nobody's into, I'm reading chat. Nobody's into any kind of cult. You just know what you know. It's just something inherently built inside of you that you know. You know if it's wrong, you know if it's right. That's it. Period. End of story. And shirtless flat earther, if you want a link, we will certainly get you one somehow. Also, we're going to be here for a while. Grab a coffee, grab a a cup of tea, beverage of your choice, something. We're going to be here for a bit. Yeah, Flat Earth Alaska. Just click on the what I posted there on G Plus Hangouts, whatever it is. And you'll be able to join in.
G-String Plus.
Yeah, G-String Brigade. Oh, great. That's terrific, James. That's great. Give me more of a reputation. horrific. I've got a bad reputation already.
I won't say it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'll
Don't
say it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
G-strings in jerseys are in Jersey are made of like 1/4-inch nylon rope.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes
Oh,
ship rope, you know, the rope that holds the boat to the dock. It's a hell of a G-string.
sitting at the dock of the bay. Yeah, exactly. No. I knew that was coming too, James. Damn it.
I still think it looks like they're flossing their ass, you know, but that's just my opinion, you know. G-string dental floss for the butt cheeks.
Okay, getting back to the topic at hand, James, dirty old man.
Butt cheeks or dental floss?
Getting no, neither one.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. Yeah.
No, getting back to the topic. Getting back to the topic. I would like to say that do your own investigation, and you'll be quite surprised.
And avoid names like shirtless because it gets perverts like subliminally triggered. Right, Larry?
Why am I getting a call again? No, all you have to do is click on where it says Hangouts. Click on Hangouts. Because I got like 2 missed calls there from Flat Earth Alaska. Just click on the Hangouts. We'll be able to join in. You have the link.
Yeah, and I have this alternating thing where sometimes the Firefox will play the Hangout and let me into the Hangout, and sometimes it won't, so I have to go to stupid Chrome. And I still don't know why it does that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's see what happens when I answer. Hold on. It opens up a brand new one.
You'd swear Skype was designed by a Teletubby.
Yeah, it's me. The freaking Hangout page, and come on in.
Yeah, you got to watch out for those Teletubbies.
I actually think they're illegitimate offspring of Barney the dinosaur.
Yeah. What young and brainwashing going on?
Really?
Actually, where I typed in the Hangout, just click on the Hangout and then join.
Well, you know what? It rang like times. It finally went through, so whatever.
All right. Well, get your ass over here. Come on. Come on.
Get your ass
Well,
to Larry.
we're there.
I noticed something watching the Goodfellas movie there. You know when Joe Pesci gets whacked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 33 minutes and 32 seconds exactly left in the film the instant he gets shot. 33, 32.
Yeah, you tell me they're not doing that on purpose.
I think it's done on purpose.
You know, they're really into numbers. They're so into numbers.
They can blend them in anywhere.
What do you reckon their fascination is, James, on numbers?
Just patterns. You can follow patterns. It's like a roadmap, like a trail, like leaving breadcrumbs. Really don't think it's much more than that.
That's actually not a bad statement. That's actually a pretty good statement. That's pretty profound. Just leaving some breadcrumbs and just like, hey, follow this and follow this. And follow this.
They even have it like in, I guess, Hansel and Gretel and whatever. They
Yeah,
try not to get
yes.
lost in the woods by laying down breadcrumb trails. And I mean, they put it all in movies and in literature forever, you know.
Of course.
Like our economy and the, what is it there, Wizard of Oz there with the straw man and all this stuff. It's a metaphor for reality, one way or another. It's just encoded in a, you know, artistic portrayal and allows people's imagination to create things that they don't necessarily understand or can't follow. The brain creates something that it can understand. It's just like dreams. People wonder why they have dreams. In this world, as people, we find ourselves in every day in situations that, well, they didn't resolve the way we actually would have liked them to. And dreams allow you to reconstruct your activities, your days, and finalize things that weren't finalized right in your mind to give you a certain closure on them, allowing you to let go and move on. That's a big part of what dreams are. Reconstructing the fuck around chaos, nonsense, lunacy, and bullshit of the conscious world and, you know, refining it down to something you say, well, that's a bit better, and wake up and get on with your fucking day with more fucking lunacy and nonsense and babble and go to bed the next night and sort it out again and finalize it your way. Just a place to help unconfuse some of the confusion of the day is your sleep. That's just an opinion, though, you know. It doesn't mean it's so. I could say I started the Chicago fire. It doesn't necessarily make it freaking so.
But it is so.
But I did start
Yeah.
the Chicago fire.
And Flat Earth Alaska, I threw the link in the thing. Well, no, you don't have to call me. I'm already live. So just join.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, James, what the end game is, you know, about, you know, or just everything from the removal of words in the English language and how we communicate, about just the overall education of our children, and then just about this bullshit about what they're doing to our skies. You know, what's the end game there? Are they hiding something? Are they putting something
No,
in
they
the air?
started so long ago. I don't think they're necessarily hiding anything. I think it's a multi-tiered need that they do that for. In part, it's poison and intoxication of people and giving us chemical agents. Another is probably the G4 and G5 cell phone networks. They need ionized air masses to be able to transmit. And not just towers are responsible for waves being able to move through air. It's sometimes particulate and other things that play a part. The actual composition of matter, determines a bit of how wave energy travels through it, how far, stuff like that. So they're probably doing it in part for radio communications, in part for weather control, in part for, maybe defoliation of some kind. Like I say, if you have an environment where everything's used to slightly acidic soil, and then it all becomes alkaline and all the acid is taken away from, you change everything from the microbial life in it to the plant life. You can choke it out. Plants that grow in acid soil don't necessarily like alkaline soil. You take some of these trees and they've done it. They've, done assays to see how much aluminum and other shit is in them. And it's just like several grams per, I don't know how much of a tree sample they take, but you got strontium in there, barium, aluminum, all kinds of stuff that really shouldn't be in a tree trunk. And trees are dying. Not all of them, but wow, here, well, if I took my camera out and went down my street here, they just cut about 15 or so trees on my side of the street there. And these were trees you couldn't fit your arms around. And they all just died. Trees don't all die at once. They're supposed to have some type of disease or something. Well, that's one species. It's a type of elm tree we have here. But, oh no, it's a poplar. And they say that every one of our poplars in Ontario is dead or dying. Same in Quebec. So that's the whole species of tree that's just on a mass die now. I see other trees and browning pines and all kinds of stuff, You see a lot of green and a lot of nice out there, but there's a lot that's not right. A lot of the streets here, we've got, I call them broom handles, or little sapling trees that they put in, and they're not even taking properly, A lot of them been there 2-3 years and they're already dead. They just get planted and start their process of dying after they get planted, They try wrapping them and protecting them with, metal grids, and that's not what's killing them though. It's stuff getting into the soil and then choking their roots or doing whatever. Who knows? But I think it has a lot to do with, these aerosol distribution of chemicals that they're doing over us by the metric ton every day. I mean, sometimes if it's a nice couple of days and they've done some heavy spraying, what they spray 48 hours later, some of it winds up on the ground or on cars. If you look on a dark colored car after a few days after heavy spraying, you can actually see these little white lumps of powder. You can pick them up on your finger and they spread like icing sugar. They're white, snow white, pure. I mean, I've never seen dirt fall from the sky that is a white powder that looks like icing sugar. That dirt isn't snow white. You shouldn't find this stuff on cars. So, one sad thing about aluminum, it's one of the harder things to test for. A lot of, metals and stuff are pretty easy, but a lot of the tests don't work with aluminum. Aluminum doesn't color borax bead, doesn't change the color of a lot of solutions. It's very, difficult to do and a little more expensive than a lot of other tests for heavy metals and stuff. So you have to send it away to a lab to really get a good determination of what it is. I call it icing sugar. That's what it looks like. But it's aluminum or some type of powder. And it came from above. Like I say, normally dirt is kind of dirty, not snow white. That's why we call it dirt.
Well, yeah, no kidding. I was trying to fix something, and I'm not sure what happened. Flat Earth Alaska can't join or keeps getting dropped or something. I'm not sure why. I sent the link like 3 times.
Sometimes it can depend how you copy and paste it. It can get some invisible characters and stuff, or little tick mark, or, you know, like a single quote mark, and you paste it into a browser and it just doesn't work. So the site can't be found. Sometimes when you copy URLs, they copy magic.
Yeah, or perhaps somebody has them has them blocked or something like that. Or something. I would hope not. Actually, I would hope not. Had some good discussions with Flat Earth Alaska. And nothing.
Well, I'm trying to set a goal. I hope in a few weeks to, have made a few dollars and be able to get a nice case of beer. It's only about $30 for 12 beer here. Actually enjoy a beer.
That's crazy. So that's all in taxes, is it?
Mostly taxes, yeah. For 1 can of beer here, we'll pay $3.
Yeah, exactly.
600 mil or 640 mil can. And a lot are over $3. Some are $3.75, $3.40. I go for the watery American beer jackasses send us. Can't afford real Canadian beer, only the cheap American knockoff. It's like drinking flat, dirty bathwater. American beer. Blah. Boy, have I drank a lot of it.
Well, most all beer, I think I would say most all beer.
How's the natural light? You have natural light in your parts?
Natural light? Like,
Yeah.
define that.
A beer called Natural Light. No.
No.
How about Pabst?
No.
PBAST? No. Miller?
No.
No Miller.
Oh, Miller. Yeah. Yeah, I don't drink that shit.
And you're up in the Northwest. You must have Kootenai beer. Kootenai Glacier beer.
Yeah, I drink the local beer that's made in the town or just over the river. There's about 7, 8 breweries here. So yeah, they do good blends, mate. So they keep you busy, and you're supporting local market too.
Yeah, here we have too many microbreweries. I think we have about 300 or 400 microbreweries in Ontario alone.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of people have home hardware, home industry of beer. Some of them are big. They have these, I don't know how many 100 liters, 1,000-liter kettles and stuff that they make their batches in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good production, but all home recipes and stuff. One does a Japanese recipe and another does an Egyptian beer recipe. Apparently they bought the rights to them or something there.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, hard to believe there was Japanese and Egyptian beers, but they're thousands of years old beer.
Wow.
Getting drunk has been around a long time.
Long time, yeah. I'm just doing some research about mixing the cannabis in different parts with alcohol and other herbs. So, just looking to the future.
I'd like a beer with just sativa resins in it there. I really, really would. I mean, they add the Humulon sativa. I mean, just replace the hops with the THC concentrate pellets,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, most definite. Yeah. It'd be great to homogenize even the 100 milligrams of some blend in your beer.
Yeah, I think it'd make the best beer on earth. Beer with THC in it.
Yep.
And you could actually, with the chemistry, make it more like root beers and other flavors too. In fact, you
Yeah.
could make a real good THC root beer because you could actually get it to taste like root beer
Yeah.
naturally.
Yeah. Naturally. Yeah. Correct.
Well, maybe one day if things go good, I'll offer my services and try a few vats of THC beer.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
be the
geez,
guinea
that's-
pig. I'll drink them. Like I say, I wouldn't, give something to someone else that I wouldn't use myself. So
Yeah.
I'll
Absolutely.
make it, I'll drink it, and let you know.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
It could take some time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, funny you mentioned because Del Croy, you know Joe, we all know Joe, of course. Del Croy actually, and he's on his second round, possibly third round. Haven't seen him in a few days.
Yeah, I got a few 5-gallon fermentation flasks here. I usually do my own, but I haven't for a long, long time. But probably haven't really drank seriously for about 3 years.
Oh crap, that's me again.
Is that your Uber taxi?
Oh yeah, I'm on the way down to the. Never mind.
The Uber bar? One day they'll have Uber police, you don't call 911, you call Uber. Yeah, there's a fight. And Uber sends like their thugs.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I was thinking. I'm like, what's wrong with you people?
Now, it sounds bad, but in this town there's battles between Uber and taxis and everything, but no joke, I saw a Sikh Uber driver attacking or being attacked by a white taxi driver, and usually it's Sikh taxi drivers attacking white Uber drivers. It's
Wow.
just the irony of the situation here. It's rare. I thought, wow, a Sikh and he's not driving the taxi. Moving right along. I'm not politically correct on that one.
Wait. Well, I'm actually going to shut down because it's getting late here, so I'm going to
But
shut
we're
down.
driving everyone away too. You want to get out while you're still hot,
Well,
We went from 10 to 9 in a matter of seconds there.
yeah, exactly.
But it's been good, and hopefully we'll get to talk some serious chemistry and help people's health little by little and flatten this world.
James, as always, touche, my friend, as always, and THC.
Yeah, Larry, it's been a pleasure, mate. James, bloody great night to you, mate. And yeah, we'll chat later.
Right on, and keep them popping out of the ground.
Oh yeah, mate, you bet. Oh, I'm gonna have some great footage in about a month, mate. We're gonna have a hoot.
Here, I'll turn on my camera for just a second. I'll show you it's not much, but it's what's growing right now. Let me see. Just before we go. Ta-da, here we go.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's running about 7 months. And I can give you maybe, if I'm not too jammed up here, a little closer though. But it's running on 4.5, almost 5 feet now. And it's really, I've pruned it to bush. I don't pinch any tops. I cut off pan leaves when the little node is grown out with some leafage, So.
What's the strain, James?
This is a Diamond Kush.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so it's going to be, it's probably not going to get any taller than that 5 foot.
No, and I want it, like I say, I'd rather it grow out than up.
Yeah, that's what's going to start
Any
happening.
day. Yeah, so it's So in another 2 months, I'll probably start flowering it
Oh,
for the end of
yeah.
this summer. Yeah.
That's going to be
See what
beautiful. That's going to be beautiful.
It already stinks.
Whoops, where'd he go?
Probably got intoxicated. But anyway, Larry, yeah, thanks, mate. So, I don't know where James is, but yeah, mate.
Yeah,
See you next time around.
absolutely, Anthony. Always a pleasure, my friend, and same with James as well. And we will pick this up.
Oh man, keep it going. Keep it going. You know, like we say, it's just, mate. Who cares? Our numbers.
Exactly, and we'll be on shortly.
Yeah, you bet, mate. Hey, Larry, you have a beautiful night, man.
You too.
Okay, bye bye.